Okay, so just as a little bit of a bonus question then, instead of drawing, we've been used to drawing our hexagons and our pentagons with drawn on a face, but in some of the questions you might get asked to draw it on a point, so one of the corners of the hexagon rather than on one of the faces of the hexagon. So usually we come along, we go, okay, yeah, we do our external angle, we draw out 60 degrees, here's your given point, and we'd go and we draw 60 degrees out that way, and then we'd go and we draw 60 degrees out this way. But as you can see there, they look very, very steep, so it might be a bit tough for you to see there. I'll just bring this down a little bit. Okay, so they look very steep for us to go and start trying to draw a hexagon in there somehow. So I need to go back and rethink here now. If we're turning our hexagon onto a point, we've essentially altered that angle. We've changed that angle now. So we've rotated it a certain amount. So what do you think I'll have to do here? Instead of going at 60 degrees for when I'm trying to draw it on a point, I have to go at 30 degrees. So if you think of it that when it's sitting on its face, so let's say that this is our hexagon sitting along its face, it's going out at 60 degrees. The external angle is going to be 60 degrees because it's sitting flat. Whereas when we rotate it around, we've turned it halfway around onto one of its sides, essentially one of its corners. So we've gone halfway around one of the sides. So now we need to go at 30 degrees, so half of the external angle. So I'll do that first. I'll draw in my 30 degrees. And I'll draw in my second 30 degrees. Okay, and I'm gonna leave them to 60 degrees there just so you can see the difference of when I actually start drawing it out then. We're told that the sides are 50 mil. So this time I actually have to go and use my set square to mark out 50 mil. There it is. So I'll mark that first section in. Mark my second section. Perfect. So there's my first two sections drawn in. Now, where do I go from here? Do I need to go straight up? Do I need to draw 60 degrees going back this way? Or do I go 30 degrees going back the other way? So try and imagine, what does a hexagon look like? So I have to go back up at 90 degrees to that line to give us our next two sides of the hexagon. So imagine that if this was the top and the bottom of the hexagon and we're sitting it on a side, or the hexagon has essentially been lifted up by 30 degrees. So I have them two lines marked in. I'll come here and mark out where they go to. So there's that first one. There's the second one. And then the last thing we need to do is start drawing in the way. So in 30 degrees, and this one comes in 30 degrees. And what you notice about this point here should directly match up with the point below it. And you know you've gone right then. So there to there. So they should connect. And I'll just heavy this all in then just to make sure everyone can see what's after happening. So there to there. There to there. There and back down the way. Check this over a little bit. There to there. Okay. And then our two 90 degrees. Okay, so what we've essentially done there, every other hexagon we've drawn up to now, we've drawn on its face, but now we've lifted it or we've rotated off its face and we're now drawing it from a point or a corner of the hexagon. So I hope that helps in trying to explain of why we use a 30 degree rather than a 60 degree when we're drawing from a point rather than a face.